Good evening. So while most of us are still looking forward to tomorrow when the results of the assembly elections in key states, including Punjab and Uttar Pradesh, are going to start rolling in, we are here this evening live on multiple platforms like Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube, talking about the latest decision of the Union Cabinet today. And it is about the setting up of what, as per the press note issued by the Press Information Bureau, is talking in terms of setting up a national land monetization corporation, which is going to be wholly owned by Government of India. Now, we are no longer using the word privatization or disinvestment, and the word which is having the flavor of the season is monetization of assets. Ambitious plans had already been announced earlier by the finance minister, and also very significant reference in the last union budget. So here you have quite a detailed sketch of what this corporation, which has been christened as, at cost of repetition, National Land Monetization Corporation of Government of India, to be owned wholly by Government of India. It is going to have initially a paid up of capital of 150 crores, authorized capital 5,000 crores, and so on and so forth. Now, what this corporation is going to do and achieve, that is what we try to talk in this brief conversation, and I'll be happy to take questions which you can post in form of comments, irrespective of the medium that you are joining on. So what is very explicit purpose is that the land and building of central public sector enterprises, CPSEs, and other central government agencies, land and building, which is either unutilized or underutilized, and especially in respect of those central public sector undertakings which are under active disinvestment or are lying closed or are going to be handed over to private partners through a competitive bidding process, but the book value of the assets may not reflect the potential price which those assets may be commanding. And therefore, in order to squeeze the maximum of those valuable assets, most of them in urban centers across the country, we have what is called this newborn, huge, healthy baby called the National Land Monetization Corporation. So what will it purportedly do, and what is that it can do which the agencies themselves could not do? First of all, what the press note does not clarify is whether this is only in respect of public sector enterprises, which includes boards, corporations, statutory bodies, or whether it would also include ministries like the Ministry of Railways, Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Telecom, and some other ministries which may have valuable real estate. And as we learned previously, I remember when VSNL, Videsh Sanchar Nigam Limited, was then bid out, and Mr. Pramod Mahajan was the communications minister. It was backed by Tata Tele Services. And it was soon realized that some of the most valuable real estate had a market price more than what the Tatas had paid for the government stake. And therefore, then there were negotiations and renegotiations, so on and so forth. But now the government is wiser in the hindsight, and they would like to squeeze every drop of juice from these central undertakings. So what is going to happen? Instead of each ministry, instead of each public sector undertaking, trying to dabble in real estate and develop and sell it. And most of them may not have the core competence. For instance, if you have a Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited, having a huge real estate in Haridwar and you're not expanding any longer, or huge areas which were reserved for residential use for the employees and so on, and you are not actually using them for that purpose. So here it is to be transferred and managed by this new body, which we call as NLMC. So it's going to be a special purpose vehicle with official directors, chairman, and non-official directors being pulled up through competitive market practices, and then to undertake this process of developing, selling, planning, master plan issues, and so on and so forth. So the idea is in concept and conception very good, that you have individual ministries unable to handle land, and most of what could be whittled away or frittered away or nibbled away by not only land mafias, but petty encroachments, hutments coming, and ultimately the government is not able to extract the full value of that land. It becomes an encumbrance rather than an asset. So therefore, here is going to be what the press note itself of PIB says, Press Information Bureau of Government of India. There's going to be lean, mean organization. So let's say there is a few thousand acres, or few tens of acres of valuable real estate. It will go to this particular special purpose vehicle, wholly owned by Government of India, and they would then sell it, develop it, and the money, of course, comes to the state exchequer. It's a 100% government-owned entity. So whether by way of special dividends or further disinvestment, it becomes property of Government of India coming into the coffers of the special purpose vehicle. Now, it looks an elegant concept on paper, that here you got real estate, you want to sell away these public sector undertakings. So why not put them in this special purpose vehicle, which has experts and would develop and ultimately sell? Now, what are the glitches which take place? In Punjab, we had a similar experiment, which is ongoing, but no longer the flavor of the season. And in Punjab, you had what is called the optimal utilization of vacant government land scheme. And instead of having a new body, there was a state level body which still is there, the Punjab Urban Planning and Development Authority. So the surplus land of various departments was transferred to PUDA, and the PUDA would then develop it, sell it, either in small chunks or big chunks through open auction. Similarly, this practice is going to be replicated for all intents and purposes by the something which is